皆さんおはようございます。Thank you for joining me today. This is the Japanese Easy News article of the day for June 9th, 2026. 2026年6月9日の今日の記事でございます。So, for our headline today, we have フィリピンの地震で37人が亡くなった。助ける活動が続く。And here is our vocabulary list from the headline. We have 地震 and earthquake, 亡くなる to pass away or to die, 助ける to help or to save, 活動 activity, 続く to continue. Okay, so jumping back into our headlines, we have フィリピンの地震で So Philippine is going to be the Philippines. Let's make that a little bit bigger here so we can see that. Philippine is going to be the Philippines. No is going to be something of the Philippines. Jishin is an earthquake. So a Philippines earthquake or an earthquake that happened in the Philippines. And de. So de in this case, it's kind of like due to or by means of. So due to an earthquake in the Philippines, 37人 or 37人, either is fine here. There's two ways to say 7. So 37 or 37 is going to be 37, and nin is our counter for people. So 37 people ga, it's telling us that they are going to do something or have some kind of attribute. 亡くなった So this is 亡くなる to pass away in the past tense. 亡くなった passed away or died. So 37 people died in an earthquake in the Philippines. 助ける is to assist or to help or save. 活動 is activity, or in this case probably activities. And when we have a verb directly connected to a noun, that verb tells us what kind of noun we're dealing with. So activities for helping or assisting or saving people. Ga, those activities are going to do something or be something. 続く, and our verb is continue. So activities to assist or help them are ongoing or continuing. So all together, フィリピンの地震で37人が亡くなった。助ける活動が続く。37 people have passed away in an earthquake in the Philippines. Activities to help or save them are ongoing or continue. Okay, here is our vocabulary list from the rest of the article. We have 揺れる. So 揺れる is to shake. ミンダナオ島 This is Mindanao Island. This to here by itself is read shima, but sometimes when we connect it to a word to mean like a specific island, here Mindanao, it changes to the other reading, Mindanao to. So Mindanao Island. 建物 is a building. 壊れる is for something to break or collapse. 政府 is the government. 怪我 is injury or injured. 赤十字 is the Red Cross. 手当 is like aid or treatment. 軍 is the military or the army. 新聞 is newspapers. 空港 is an airport. 大学 is the university or college. 電気 is electricity. And 通信 is communication. Okay, and today we have a grammar point, and that is going to be tame. And we're only going to focus on one use of this grammar point. There's a couple of other uses here, but we're going to specifically focus on the meaning of due to or caused by something. So here we have a couple of example sentences. We have 雨が強かったため、イベントが休止になった。So, 雨 is going to be rain. So, 雨が the rain is going to do something or be something. 強かった So this is our adjective, an e-adjective 強い. Well, it'd be 強い, but then we're putting that in the past tense. So we drop the e and add かった. 強かった So the rain was strong. ため And this is going to be due to strong rain, or due to the fact that the rain was strong. イベントが So イベント is an event. が it's going to do something or be something, our subject particle here. And 休止になった. So 休止 is like canceled or cancellation. になる is to become. So originally they were going to do it, but it became canceled. And then this になる is in the past tense. So it became canceled. Or to put it in clean English, we'd say the event was canceled due to the strong rain, or due to the fact that the rain was strong. And that ため is going to be our due to here. Okay. And then our other example here, we have 親が一人しかいなかったため、当時は貧しかった。So 親 is going to be a parent. 親が is going to do something or be something. 一人 is going to be one person. 一人 means a single person. しか goes together with a verb in the negative to mean only something. So 一人しかいない. This is our verb here. いない would be いる in the negative. And then that いない goes to いなかった because we are in the negative and the past. So 一人しかいなかった. Only one existed. And so 親が一人しかいなかった. Only had, or only one parent existed. ため and that's going to be due to. So due to the fact that he only had a single parent. 当時は So 当時 is at that time. This could be from all sorts of contexts, talking about when they were kids, probably here. 当時は and our and wa gives us our topic particle here. So we're limiting it to at that time. 貧しかった. So 貧し means poor, as in not having a lot. And that is in the past tense. We drop the e and add かった. 貧しかった was poor. So 親が一人しかいなかったため、当時は貧しかった. He only had a single parent. Therefore, or so, his family, in this context, was poor at the time. 当時は貧しかった.
昨日、フィリピンの近くで起こった大きい地震のニュースです。強く揺れたミンダナオ島では、店などの建物がたくさん壊れています。フィリピン政府は今までに37人が亡くなって400人以上が怪我をしたと言っています。赤十字は怪我をした人の手当てを始めました。軍などは壊れた建物から人を助ける活動を続けています。新聞やテレビによると、空港や大学でも壊れたところがありました。電気や通信を使うことができなくなっているところもあります。フィリピンの地震の研究所は、まだ地震が続く心配があるため、気をつけるように言っています。
All right, let's get right into our article here.
昨日、フィリピンの近くで起こった大きい地震のニュースです。
Okay, so here we have 8日に or 昨日, since today is the 9th. They're saying the 8th or yesterday. Out loud she's saying yesterday, but here we have written 8日, the 8th. Ni is telling us this is our time where something happened. Philippine, the Philippines. No, something of the Philippines. 近く chikaku is nearby. So connecting that with a no, Philippine no chikaku means near the Philippines. De, telling us our location. So at, near the Philippines, or Philippine no chikaku de. Okotta, this is okoru for something to occur or happen in the past tense. So okoru goes to okotta. Ookii jishin. So ookii is large and jishin is an earthquake. So a large earthquake that, all of this describes that large earthquake, happened near the Philippines on the 8th. No news desu. So this news is news, and this des is. So we're talking about this particular article. This article is news about a large earthquake that occurred near the Philippines on the 8th.
強く揺れたミンダナオ島では、店などの建物がたくさん壊れています。
Okay, now we have 強く. So 強く comes from an adjective 強い, meaning strong. This 強く means strongly, kind of like an adverb of the adjective. And then 揺れた. This comes from 揺れる for something to shake. And then this is in the past tense. 強く揺れたミンダナオ島では. So ミンダナオ島 is the Mindanao Island. And では, as far as on that island, ミンダナオ島では, where the shaking was intense or very strong. 店などの建物. So 店 is going to be a shop. など is etc. or and the like. No, we use that to connect to our other noun. 建物, which is a building. And when we have などの between two nouns, basically we're saying noun B such as noun A. So 店などの建物 would be buildings such as shops. And we have our subject particle が telling us it's going to do something or be something. たくさん a lot. 壊れています. So 壊れる is for something to be broken or to be collapsed or to break or to collapse, sorry. And then we put that in the teiru form to say it is currently happened, it's currently in that state. So lots of buildings such as stores are collapsed or broken on or at Mindanao Island, which had very strong shaking for the earthquake or due to the earthquake.
フィリピン政府は今までに37人が亡くなって400人以上が怪我をしたと言っています。
Okay, so フィリピン政府は Philippine is the Philippines and 政府 is the government. And what kind of tells us this is our framework or our topic here. So the Philippine government, as far as they are concerned, 今までに So 今までに is up to the current point. 今 being now, までに up to that point. 37人 or 37人, 37 people が we're gonna do something here. 亡くなって So 亡くなる to pass away or to die. And we put that in our te form because we're going to continue. So 37 people died and 400人以上. So 400人, once again, our counter for people. 人 here. 400人 would be 400 people. 以上 would be or more. So more than 400 people. が our subject particle telling us they're going to do something. And 怪我をした. So 怪我 is an injury, and when you have an injury, we use the verb する. So 怪我を our object particle, and する when put in the past tense goes to した. So 怪我をした were injured と言っています. So when we have a と, sometimes what it does is it basically says, all right, we have a full idea that can be put in quotes pretty much. So, Philippine政府は the Philippine government, and from here on, we have our quote. So, and then と言っています. So, and this is coming from our verb 言う, which means to say. And we're putting that in the ている form, since this is something they've said and they haven't taken it back. This is still what they're saying. 言っています. So, the Philippine government is saying, and this is their quote, 今までに37人が亡くなって400人以上が怪我をした. Up to the current point, 37 people have died and more than 400 people are injured.
赤十字は怪我をした人の手当てを始めました。
Okay, 赤十字は So 赤十字 is the Red Cross, the organization. は is our framework or topic. 怪我をした人. So once again we have 怪我をした. Which 怪我 is an injury or our object particle since this is the thing that people are. した this is the past tense of する to do. So 怪我をした injured. And then all of that is describing 人. So 人, 怪我をした人, people who were injured. の something about them or of them. 手当て. 手当て is treating or taking care of like an injury or something. And then 手当てを we're going to do something to that. And that verb is 始めました or 始める. So this ました tells us it's in the past tense in the formal style. And 始める is to begin. So 始めました to start or have started. So the Red Cross started treating the people who were hurt, is what we're saying in this sentence. 赤十字は怪我をした人の手当てを始めました。
軍などは壊れた建物から人を助ける活動を続けています。
Okay. 軍などは So 軍 is the military or the army. など and others like it. We can throw this after a noun to say and others like it or other things like it. So the military and the like は main topic or reference here. 壊れた建物 So 壊れた is the past tense of 壊れる for broken or collapse. So 壊れた建物 the buildings that have collapsed. から from So from these buildings that have collapsed. 人 people or person を we're going to do something to these people. And that verb is 助ける So to save 助ける is to save. The O marks what things we are saving. 人 So people who we are saving from the collapsed buildings. And then all of that is describing 活動 So activities and activities or saving people who have or saving people from these collapsed buildings を続けています So once again, we're doing something to these activities and that verb is 続ける which is to continue. So the military and the like are continuing. This ている here tells us they are still doing it. They are continuing activities for saving people from the collapsed buildings. 軍などは壊れた建物から人を助ける活動を続けています。
新聞やテレビによると、空港や大学でも壊れたところがありました。
新聞やテレビによると、So 新聞 is newspapers. We have テレビ which is television. These are separated by や So with や we give two examples here, but it's kind of like adding an etc. So here we have newspapers, television, and the like. Basically, this is how they're saying media. And then によると is according to. So according to newspapers and the television. 空港や大学. Okay, we have a ya here again, so we're giving two examples, but things like it are also included. So 空港や大学. 空港 is the airport, 大学 is the university. でも, so even at, this is a combination of the particle で and the particle も. Even at airports and universities, 壊れた. So 壊れる in the past tense, so things that are broken, and that is describing ところ. So locations or places. So 壊れたところ, places that have collapsed or were damaged. が such places are going to do something ありました. And this is ある to exist or to be in the past tense. So there were or there existed places that had collapsed even at airports and universities, according to the media, or basically newspapers, television, etc.
電気や通信を使うことができなくなっているところもあります。
Okay, 電気や通信. So 電気, there's lots of yas in this article. So 電気や通信. Denki is going to be electricity. Ya, we're giving two examples again. 通信, which is communication. Now this is communication lines like TV, internet, etc. を使う. を使う is to use. This O marks what we're using. So 電気や通信を使う, using electricity and communication lines. And then when we have a verb with ことができる, this means able to do the verb. However, we have that できる being put into できなくなっている. So this is like 3 conjugations we're taking to get here. But if we kind of follow it step by step, we have ことができない, which means, let's make that a little bigger, cannot, right? So unable to use electricity or communications. Then that goes to できなくなる, which is it becomes so that this is impossible. So in order to add that なる, we have to drop the e and add く. できなくなる for something to become impossible to do. And then because this is currently the state that we're in, we'll add that ている currently. It is not possible to, or it has become impossible to. So that goes できなくなっている. So, and that is all describing our ところ here. So ところ, locations where, and this is describing our locations, it has become impossible to. So that's what this ことができなくなっている all means here. It has become impossible to use electricity and communication lines. And then もあります. So this も says also places, and あります there are or there exist. So there are even places where it is not possible to use electricity and communication lines like TV, internet, etc.
フィリピンの地震の研究所はまだ地震が続く心配があるため気をつけるように言っています。
Okay, フィリピンの地震の研究所は So フィリピン the Philippines の something of the Philippines 地震 the earthquake の something of the earthquake and 研究所 is like a research facility. So a research facility of earthquakes or an earthquake research facility in the Philippines, フィリピンの So フィリピンの地震の研究所は a research facility on earthquakes in the Philippines. What is our main topic or framework here? まだ still or yet 地震 earthquake が our earthquake is going to do a verb and that is going to be 続く continue. So still earthquake, continue. And then 心配 is worry. So worry or fear that earthquakes will still continue. が aru. So aru, once again, to exist. And this ga tells us what it is that exists, and that's the earth, or the worry. So there is still worry that the earthquakes will continue. And this is our grammar of the day, tame. So this is like a therefore or a due to. So due to there still being worry that earthquakes might continue, kiotsukeru. So kiotsukeru is to watch out. Literally, you put on your spirit. But basically, you can just think of this phrase as to take caution, to be careful of. And then we have yo ni itteimasu. So when we have yo ni yu, this is our verb yu, to say. You say so that this happens. This is like giving people advice, like you should do this. So kiotsukeru you ni itteimasu. And then because they're currently saying it, we once again use the teiru form. Currently saying. And who is saying it? We jump back to our research facility, or our earthquake research facility in the Philippines. So this earthquake research facility in the Philippines is telling people, giving them advice to watch out, because that tame, or due to the fact that there is still worry or still fear that earthquakes will continue. So that will be it for our article today. Hopefully everyone in the Philippines is doing all right. If you are, take care and be careful, because that section of the world is crazy with the earthquakes. I lived in Japan. I know what that's like. It's tough stuff, but hopes and prayers to them. So, 今日はありがとうございました. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you have not, please like and subscribe. It shows me that you are enjoying this content and that you want more of it. I will hopefully see you around. またね.